you, Rabbi Shanowitz. I think my family can attest to this, that my father loved you very much. We started coming to your shul when it was a basement in your old former home in Highland Park. I wish to thank all the distinguished rabbis, including Rabbi First, who my father actually never met. But he called you the wisest of rabbis. We had very, very complicated, serious shilas going on for the past few years, and he felt that he trusted you to give us guidance on those personal matters. So thank you. I also wish to thank all of you who have been there for us through the past 12 months. Just a few families I feel obliged to thank. The Walper family, the Azar family, and especially the Lipschutz family. Jerry, you've been my mentor. You've heard me in your office many times over the past 12 months discussing my father, and you've been a tremendous source of strength for me. I thank you for that. Ever since my father was diagnosed with a type of brain tumor, cancer, that we have as a family all become too familiar with, called glioblastoma. So much has been taught to us as a family. The past 12 months has given us so much introspection, so much understanding of who and what is really important to us. As I began to write this speech last night in his chair, I wanted to make it very personal, as Dad is present to my side today. And although you are not able to respond in the physical sense, I want to share these stories about you which describe who you are and what you mean to me before the Almighty asks you to join Him. If I choose 3 words in me, they would be honesty, integrity, and persistence. I wanted to use a different word, which was stubborn, but my wife wouldn't allow me to do it. I don't mean stubborn in a bad way, and I'll explain. When you met Mom, you were still a teenager. You were dating only 2 weeks when you came to your father and asked for his blessing to get married. He said, no, you are too young, you need to finish the army, then you can get married. In that time, in the former Soviet Union, all men were drafted into the Soviet army. So all normal men tried every option to dodge serving the military or postponed, but you proposed to my mother and voluntarily enlisted. You were known to be the brightest of the brightest in math and physics, and everyone was in utter shock when they heard that David Elkin voluntarily enlisted in the army. But you did not care. At that point, you found the love of your life. You did not want to go against your father, but there was nothing that would stop you from being with your soulmate, Mom. After 1 year of service, during your break from the military, your father gave you a blessing to get married. You got married and alone left for the second and last year of duty in Moscow, while Mom waited for you. During your second year in Moscow, you were told by one of your commanders that you must take his exams for him during your stay in Moscow. So for the entire year, you took all of his exams, and miraculously, he was the brightest soldier in Moscow. You were finally discharged from the military and were ready to go home when he told you that his last exams were a month away. Even though he had been waiting 2 years to finally start a family with Mom, you kept your word and you stayed for another month to finish the exams. To my father, his word his reputation meant everything to him. When we first arrived in America, we arrived with 2 suitcases per person and $400. He began taking computer programming classes and trying to find a job. In the meantime, we applied for welfare. Yes, we received food stamps and health insurance. As soon as he found a job, he realized that we would not be eligible for health insurance with 2 young children. He was quite concerned. He contacted public aid and told them that he just found a job and pleaded with them to allow just his kids to have health insurance until he gets health insurance. The government agency was so shocked that he was so honest and actually notified them about his upcoming employment that they kept our entire family insured for an entire year. That's who he was. He didn't want anything that didn't belong to him. He never gambled. He knew what was his and was happy with it. He never complained. He just did. He was a rock for me, a rock for my dear brother, and most of all, he was a rock for my mother, whom he loved so much. His last words to me were, "You and your brother, take care of your mother. Take care of your mother. I don't want to leave her." You love the idea of the American dream. He always said, you put in hard work, you prioritize your life, and you can achieve your goals. Don't get me wrong, he was always trying to achieve new goals, but not at the price of deceit or dishonesty. I had many discussions with him about his cancer, taking away, as he said, taking away his extremely high cognitive skills was like taking away Picasso's paintbrush. He did not want to live without a complete command of his faculties. He said to me, "Misha, what point is there to live if you cannot use your mind? The cancer is taking away the very essence of who I am." I answered him then, and I answer you now. It is not your mind that makes you who you are, but your heart. William Wordsworth, the English romantic poet, so wisely said the following about the word father. Father, to God himself you cannot give a holier name. Father, please watch over us and ask God to help us cope with not having you here. But know one thing, Dad. You may have arrived in this country a poor man, but you are leaving the most precious inheritance for us, your legacy. Appreciative, humbled, and proud I am right now and forever to be called your son. Thank you.
Every time I saw my dad, he would bicker at me for not shaving. But it looks like he got me to shave.